fourth meeting, Dave, between Old Dominion and WKU. Monarchs on top of the series by an oh-so slice of 22-21.
Well, it seems like every year these two teams, with the exception of this year, like you said in another broadcast earlier, that this is like a bizarro world where Marshall, Western Kentucky, Old Dominion, we're in the lower third of our conference standings. In the past, those three teams have always battled for 1, 2, and 3. So there's a tremendous amount of importance on this game.
What do you think's been the problem, first of all, with WKU? I think it's been sort of on the defensive end, hasn't it?
On the defensive end, they're very cautious defensively. They don't take a lot of chances. They don't put a lot of pressure on you. And because of that, they don't foul. They don't want to foul because I think, to me, a big part of their problem is a lack of depth. They only play 6 players get over 20 minutes a game. So they don't go very deep on their bench. It's a tight rotation for them.
Rick Stansberry in his 6th season as head coach of the Hilltoppers, taking on Jeff Jones, who's in his 9th year here at Old Dominion. Thursday night, the Hilltoppers snapped a 5-game losing streak with a 78-59 win at Charlotte, while here on this floor, Old Dominion was defeating Marshall 79-64. The Hilltoppers come out wearing the red road uniforms with the black and white trim. They'll be moving from right to left towards the world's largest naval base. The Monarchs come out on their white home Under Armour uniforms with the silver and blue trim. They'll be moving from left to right toward downtown Norfolk. Our officials tonight, Alan Sutton, Barry Mathis, and Blake Harris. And wherever you may be on this Saturday night, we're glad to have you aboard for Old Dominion and Western Kentucky. Middle of the season, Dave. Time to start jockeying for seeding when it comes to the conference tournament.
Yeah, and that's something you really don't think much about early in the season. But as it progresses, now you're going, okay, now let's see, top 4, where can we fall into this? And this, when you're playing someone right next to you, it puts a tremendous amount of importance on it.
Western Kentucky controls the tap. They've got the first possession, attacking the bucket to our left. This is Luke Hampton for 3, and it's no good. And the long rebound will come out to Austin Trice. Trice gets the ball to C.J. Kaiser. Kaiser to Trice. Other side, Long, layup, good. Makai Long, and a great feed from Austin Trice.
That's a little bit reminiscent of the Marshall game. Old Dominion got out on the fast break a lot, especially in that first half.
Luke Frampton missed the first shot. This is Jarius Hamilton going to Davion McKnight. Frampton will take another 3, and that one rims the basket, no good. Rebound comes down to Jalen Hunter of Old Dominion. Head-man pass, right-hand side. Kaiser steps into a right-wing 3. That's no good. Long rebound to Trice of Old Dominion. Austin puts it on the deck, throws it up, no good. Rebound ripped down there by Jarius Hamilton. And here comes Western Kentucky trailing 2-0, 1 minute in. Justice, alley-oop, slam there for the big fella, the tallest gentleman playing NCAA basketball, Jamarian Sharp at 7'5".
He is a rather large target. You talk about margin for error on a pass. Oh, my gosh.
2-2 our score. Sharp playing defense at the elbow on Trice. Now to Jalen Hunter at the top. He's picked up by Justice. Now here's Kaiser with a little jump shot off the iron, no good. Trice had his hands on the rebound. That's it around, back to Hunter. Hunter will step into a 3. There's the first block of the night for Sharp, and here comes Western Kentucky right to left. Frampton goes back to Justice. Justice left-hand side. McKnight with a lefty 3. That's no good. Rebound knocked to C.J. Kaiser. And here comes Old Dominion in a 2-2 ball game. When you look at fouls being called on Western Kentucky, it doesn't happen very often, Dave.
No, it does not. They do a nice job containing the dribbler.
And Jamarian Sharp now 1 block away from the Western Kentucky all-time seasonal block shot record of 98. Break the one set in 2003 by Chris Marcus.
C.J. Kaiser took the first shot for Old Dominion, and Sharp comes from underneath the basket to challenge that. So the block shot on Jalen Hunter's jump shot, that's not unusual for him.
Ball comes into Kalu Ezekpe. He's at the top of the circle now. 8 to shoot for Old Dominion. Kalu dribbles to the left baseline. Spins down there on Hamilton. Gets into the paint. Back to Kaiser. He'll hoist a 3, and that one's good.
A little breakdown in Western's defense. They double-team Kalu with a short clock. He had nothing going on. C.J. Kaiser just relocates for a 3.
Cameron Justice, a 6'3" grad student out of IUPUI. He's a Kentucky native. Gets the ball to Davion McKnight. This is Hamilton to Justice now. Almost loses his balance. Gets it into the corner. Frampton won't fire it from there. Brings it to Hamilton. Working against Kalu Ezekpe. Puts it on the deck, into the paint, shot up and around and through.
Woo.
Jarris Hamilton.
And to muscle that over Kalu says something. Nice, strong move.
6'8", 230 senior from Charlotte. Transfer from Maryland. 5'4", Old Dominion. 3 minutes in. Into the corner. Here's a baseline jumper. Ezekpe hits for two.
Kalu is looking more and more comfortable taking that 15 to 18 foot jumper. He hit a couple 12 to 15 footers against Marshall the other night.
And Dave, that's logical, right? When you got a 7'5" eraser underneath the hoop in Jamarian Sharp. Hamilton goes to Justice on the right side. Mekhi Long has that defensive assignment. Monarchs in a man-to-man. Here's McKnight crossing over on Hunter, and Jalen will pick up the first personal foul of the game. Again, the Hilltoppers had lost 5 in a row before going to Charlotte on Thursday and blasting the 49ers 78-59. They led 43-19 at the half. Here it's 7-4. Old Dominion, 16:35 to play in the first. McKnight to trigger the play, baseline right, brings it into Frampton. Long three is way off, hits nothing. Falls into the lap of Jalen Hunter, leads the break toward the bucket to our right. Here's Ezekpe. Kalu to Trice on the left blocks. Gets another block. There's the record setter for Jamarian Sharp. But they can't control the basketball. They turn it away, and you can see the quick hands and work of Jamarian Sharp.
Well, as long as he is, and his wingspan is incredible, he's not just 7'5". He doesn't have to go for the pump fakes. He can keep his feet and just keep his hands up and still either block or challenge the shot.
And that's one of the reasons why they don't pick up a lot of fouls. Doesn't have to leave your feet. That's a great point, Dave. 16:10 to play in our first half here at Chartway Arena. 7-4 Old Dominion. This is Mekhi Long, the transfer from Rhode Island. Working against Justice. Now gets the ball to Kaiser and to Jalen Hunter on the left. Man-to-man defense from the Hilltoppers as well. Trice open on the left-hand side. They go instead to the foul line, and Ezekpe steps back, and the jumper's no good. Tapped up by Trice, no good. Kalu shooting a couple of outsiders, 1 for 2 from the field. And here's Justice. Down the lane he goes, and the layup doesn't go as it's affected by the Monarch defense.
Oh, what a
lively one bounce. That's Hunter to Long, who lays it in, and he's fouled, and it counts.
What a beautiful three-quarter court bounce pass off the dribble from Jalen Hunter. Strong, creative finish by Mekhi Long.
15:36 to go in our first half. 9-4 Monarchs.
1, to see it, and 2, to recognize that it is there, but you also need a guy that can catch it.
Foul shot's no good for Mekhi Long, so the lead remains 5-4 ODU. 15.5 to play in our first. Again, Rick Stansberry only plays about 6 guys a lot of minutes, and nobody ever gets into foul trouble for the most part. Although Sharp was limited to just 14 minutes against Charlotte because of some foul difficulties. Here's Justice. Will he shoot over Kaiser? He'll use a screen from Sharp or rolls, and that frees up Justice for the three that's good. Cameron Justice is on the board. He went 3 for 6 against Charlotte from deep, and he's got his first 3 here tonight. 9-7 Old Dominion, 5 minutes in. Mekhi Long hounded by the man-to-man defense of Cameron Justice. Now Ezekpe playing off him there is Hamilton. Now Kaiser goes down low, and Sharp's going to pick up a personal as he blasts Mekhi Long.
He did the right thing. Coming from the weak side to pick up the roller, reaches in at the last moment, gets his second foul, forces Western Kentucky to go to their bench. They have that tight rotation. Now this changes the game totally for Austin Trice.
Now Josh Anderson had already been in the All-Conference USA preseason selection. Hunter looking, loops it into Mekhi Long. So you've got McKnight and Justice and Anderson and Frampton and Hamilton playing defense for Western Kentucky. Here's Kaiser. Foul line. Ezekpe fakes, drives on Anderson, turns, gets blasted into the right-hand corner to Mekhi Long. He'll take the 10-foot jumper, and that's no good as the shot clock was winding down. Josh Anderson has the rebound, the 6'6" redshirt senior from Baton Rouge. This is Frampton. Hamilton will fire from the left. That's no good. Rebound off a couple of Monarchs, and Ezekpe grabs it for ODU. Into the front court now, Jalen Hunter. Stopping and starting and firing and missing from deep. Rebound, Austin Trice. Quick layup is good for Trice.
Austin Trice is going to be a different player now that Sharp is on the bench. Gets inside rebound position. If Sharp was in there, Austin Trice has no chance to get that, but he goes up in a crowd gets it and puts it back in.
You can tell the Monarchs a little more comfortable in the paint with the big fella on the bench.
Absolutely.
Here's Justice. Hasn't shown any type of desire to not shoot. Finds it to Hamilton. Gets into the paint. Throws it up with the rights. Can't get the layup to fall. Did a lot of hard work, but couldn't get the finish. Now Hunter into the front court, barking out instructions that he receives from head coach Jeff Jones. Monarchs 4-4 in the league. Hilltoppers are 3-6. This is Kaiser to Hunter. Looping pass down the left blocks to Ezekpe. Goes through his legs. He loses the basketball, and it comes down to Davion McKnight. And he's leading the break for the Hilltoppers. Crossing over. The lefty layup is good for Davion McKnight, coast to coast.
He's the guy that stirs the drink for Western Kentucky. He is a tough, hard-nosed player, decidedly left-handed, but takes it to the rack on that one.
Not afraid of the contact. He averages 15 a game, and he's brought the Toppers to within 2 at 11-9. Here's Austin Trice. Down low. What a look for Ezekpe, and Kalu lays it in. Couple of assists now for Austin Trice. 13-9 Old Dominion. Charles Smith the fourth at the scorers table for Jeff Jones and the Monarchs. And here's Josh Anderson. Hand off to Justice. Clockwise he goes, gets it to Frampton. Frampton, one bounce, down low. Hamilton, the layup, no, but he's fouled by Mekhi Long. Free throws coming up for Jarris Hamilton. 5th in the nation in steals, Dave. The quick hands. And the 6'8 senior will go to the line for the first time where he shoots 62%. .12:33 to play. First half action from Norfolk. 13-9 Old Dominion leading the Hilltoppers.
And Ted, interesting, Josh Anderson coming in. He was known in the past as a guy that just pretty much runs the floor and is a slasher kind of scorer. He has added little outside game to his repertoire. He's over 30% from the three-point line.
Hamilton hits the first free throw. He'll get one more. Second one is good as well, and it's a 2-point ball game, 13-11. As Charles Smith will come in for Austin Trice, so he'll have Ezekpe moving to the 5. Hunter into the front court for ODU to C.J. Kaiser, transfer from North Carolina Central. Long now swings it right-hand side to Smith. Man-to-man defense. McKnight hounding Hunter. He gets down, drives, dishes it off to Ezekpe. Ball's on the floor. Kalu picks it up again. Triple teamed right there. Brings it out with 9 to shoot. Hunter will take a straightaway 3 and hit it.
It's the second time Kalu gets bottled up and not able to get off the score. Player relocates on the perimeter and knocks down a 3. Kaiser the first time. This time, Jalen Hunter.
16-11, Old Dominion leading WKU here in Norfolk. Monarchs looking for their 3rd win in a row. And here's McKnight. This is the way he likes to go. He's a left-hander. Spins to the foul line for the jumper. It's good. Solid move from Davion McKnight. He's got a couple of field goals, and it's 16-13 Old Dominion. Ezekpe. Right-hand side, Smith. A dribble then to Mekhi Long at the top. Now to Smith, who's trying to post up Ezekpe. Here he is. Guarded by Isaiah Cozart, who's into the ball game, and Kalu takes him to the rack for 2. 3rd field goal for Ezekpe, and it's 18-13.
Good patience by Kalu. He gets driven off the block a little bit, tightens it up with a couple dribbles, detects no double team coming, takes a nice little move baseline.
Also into the lineup for WKU, Sherman Brashear, a 6'5 sophomore from Dallas. McKnight runs the attack against the man-to-man defense of Jalen Hunter. Now to Frampton. Long threes, a bit off the mark. Long rebound comes down to Hunter of Old Dominion. Jalen into the front court, Monarchs by 5. Here's Ezekpe. Going to work on Anderson, gets the ball to Smith. Almost steps into a 3, but the defense shuts him down there. Good stuff from Brashear defensively. 15 to shoot for Old Dominion, 10.5 to play. Hunter all the way to the hole. The layup is good. Good defense for a while.
And a good hesitation move by Jalen. He comes off that screen, makes it look like he's not going to take it to the hole, and then all of a sudden a burst of speed to the rack. No challenge from inside.
McKnight probes the defense, steps back and fires and hits, and he's starting to feel it here. Long 2 for Davion McKnight. 20-15 halfway through this first half. Old Dominion on top of Western Kentucky and Norfolk.
Western in that zone now. Old Dominion flashes a guy to the post, which is where you want to attack it.
Cozart's a 6'7" junior from Richmond, Kentucky. In the middle of that 2-3-D, 9 to shoot. Monarchs trying to figure out the zone. Can Kaiser do it? Couple of dribbles to Makai Long. Right-hand corner three. Around the rim, no good. Cozart the rebound. Oftentimes the answer is a long jump shot. Monarchs couldn't find much better. What a snake-like arm interception from Makai Long. Gets past Anderson to the hole. Layup, no! Oh, just enough duress placed upon that shot from Long, and here's Anderson the other way.
There's where Anderson has had his strength. Open court situation.
The different color shoes for Josh Anderson.
I'm not too sure I get that.
Maybe he got dressed in the dark. Here's McKnight on the right wing, deep. Gets a screen from Cozart, takes it into the hill. Passes to the corner. The three, no good. Charles Smith outduels Cozart for the rebound. Brashear's three, just a bit long. We're under 9 minutes to play in the first. Monarchs by 5. Hunter moves to the right-hand side. Now the Hilltoppers back into a man-to-man. Anderson's got C.J. Kaiser. Kaiser to Hunter on the right. Gets into the paint. Turns, fades, fires, misses. Brashear the rebound. Outlet pass to McKnight. He's just over the midcourt stripe. Trice and Hamilton ready to get back into this ball game.
And McKnight on the defensive end, he forces Jalen Hunter to take that shot. He has done his job defensively. That was a tough shot by Jalen Hunter.
Been a long stretch, about 4.5 minutes since the last whistle as Brashear takes it down the left-hand side. Back to Anderson. His three from the left. Around the rim, no good. Long battles for the rebound, and Anderson knocks it out of bounds, and that'll bring us to a timeout. 7:56 to play in our first half here in Norfolk. Good ball game. Conference USA action. Old Dominion 20. Western Kentucky 15. And we'll continue from Norfolk in a moment.
Hey, Monarch fans.
Western Kentucky 20-15 here in Norfolk. Dave, Monarchs are shooting 45%. The Hilltoppers 38. Neither team very effective from beyond the arc. WKU 1 for 8 from 3. The Monarchs 2 for 6.
Yeah, that's a little unusual for Western Kentucky. Their volume three-point shooters are close to 40%. And for them as a team, they are 0 for 4. That's kind of unusual. Old Dominion not known as a three-point shooting team, but the shot selection at Old Dominion, guys, totally different. Totally different now that Sharp is on the bench.
Kalua Zikpe leads the Monarchs. He's got 6 points. Jalen Hunter with 5. On the other side, Davion McKnight has 6. Hamilton 4 for WKU. Old Dominion with the basketball. A.J. Oliver, transfer from Clemson into the ball game. Smith to the low blocks. Trice reverse layup, no good. Tapped up, no good. Sharp has it and loses it off his foot. No, it's off the Monarchs and out of bounds. The fans here in Chartway do not like that. And we've got another timeout with 7:40 to play in the half. 20-15 Old Dominion leads Western Kentucky here in Norfolk. A quick segment there. 20-15 Old Dominion. 7:40 to play in the half.
Ted, I find it kind of interesting that Western Kentucky has brought Sharp back in the game with 2 fouls. You better have a lot of confidence in him that he is going to play cautious enough not to pick up a dumb one.
What's happening?
Because you're within 5 points. It's not like Old Dominion's pulling away or anything. So it's kind of a little bit of a gamble by Western.
Now, in Western Kentucky Conference losses this year, the fouls for Sharp can be a factor. 4 against La Tech, 3 against North Texas, 4 against FAU, 2 against FIU, and 3 against UAB.
Oh, he's definitely a factor. Maybe not on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, absolutely.
Here's Anderson on the left wing, driving baseline against A.J. Oliver. Back to Hamilton. They work the perimeter. Ooh. Justice now on the right-hand side. Over Jalen Hunter for 3. That's no good. Oh, but the putback from Sharp. And that's why you love having him on the floor. Oohing and eyeing.
Ooh, that was rather manly. He just kept going up.
20-17. Old Dominion leading WKU. Charles Smith. Now the Monarchs trying to figure out this WKU zone. Oliver in the corner. Steps inside the line, fires and misses. Trice bats the ball up, no good. And there's Charles Smith saving it to Trice, now to Long. Back into the corner. Smith will catch and fire, and that's no good. And we've got a foul against Austin Trice. Loose ball foul against the Monarchs' best rebounder.
Did Sharp get a piece of that jump shot? The first shot?
I'd never doubt that he got a piece of something.
It looked like he just might have gotten a finger on that.
So you've got Frampton and Hamilton with Sharp, Justice, and Anderson. For the Monarchs, Oliver, Smith, Ezekpe, Emo Essien into the ball game, along with Austin Trice. Essien, the freshman point guard from Wiley, Texas. Jalen Hunter's backup. He's been getting increased minutes last couple of games, Dave, as he sees his game come together a little bit as a Monarch.
He's looking a lot more comfortable on the floor. Ran the team extremely well. And coming in as the point guard on this squad, you don't really have to score a lot. Just get everybody involved. Start the offense. But the bottom line is you better defend for Jeff Jones.
Rebounding totals 15-12. Old Dominion the advantage here in the first half. Under 6:40 to play. Sharp goes to Justice on the right side, guarded by Essien, man-to-man. Dribbles out of there, screen from Sharp, or rolls to the hole. And as Dave mentioned earlier, you throw alley-oops his way, and it's a lot easier to pass because he's so big. That shot is no good from Hamilton, and the Monarchs clear the boards. Essien now into the front court. Top of the circle, barking instructions to Smith. Doesn't take the three, goes to Trice from the elbow on the right side. Puts it on the deck. Up and over move, tries to get it to Ezekpe. Bad pass, picked off, tipped by Sharp to Anderson. Anderson to the hole, layup good.
Boy, that is his strength. Open court. He is very elusive and creative, taking it to the hole.
Really fast with the ball, too, Dave.
And the offensive sequence by Old Dominion changed because Sharp's on the floor.
20-19 Monarchs. Oliver puts it on the deck, gets into the paint, says, I'm not running into the big fella. Goes back to Essien. Now to Ezekpe. Ezekpe at the foul line. Steps back, takes the 18-footer over Sharp and hits it. Ezekpe with 8 points to lead all scores. I wouldn't be surprised if Sharp got a piece of that one, too.
Not an easy shot. A nice challenge by Sharp.
Justice coast to coast. He's got 5, and it's 22-21 ODU.
That goes back to just containing the ball. Emo has done a nice job last couple games. That one just lets penetration.
Now Ezekpe with the left elbow, puts it on the deck, drives into the left block area, reverse layup, no good. Talk about shots affected by Sharp. The ball's on the floor, and it's going to come down to Josh Anderson of Western Kentucky. Anderson crosses over on A.J. Oliver, brings it back. Frampton for three. Good.
Shooters keep shooting.
And Western Kentucky has a 2-point lead.
Frampton is one of their three-point shooters. He's about 39% from the three-point line.
The zone. Monarchs haven't seen zone in a while. It's effective here for WKU in the first half. 4:36 to play. Here's Smith. That's three.
Wow.
And that's no good. And the long rebound comes to Cameron Justice, who finds Anderson on the outlet pass. Back to Justice. One bounce. Frampton open.
The other
three. Good.
Shooter.
Frampton comes alive with back-to-back threes, and Western Kentucky has spurted to a 27-22 advantage. 4:23 to play in the first, and the tide's turning for the visitors here in Norfolk. Well, you look at the numbers, and Western Kentucky has jumped into a 27-22 lead. Monarchs won for their last 10, Dave, a 14-2 run for Western Kentucky over the last 5:40.
Well, we talked about Western Kentucky taking a little bit of a gamble, bringing Sharp back in the game with 2 fouls. Well, he has remained foulless for about 4 minutes. In that 4 minutes, it's been a 12-2 run by Western Kentucky. The gamble has paid off.
Sharp back on the floor for the Hilltoppers with Hamilton and Justice and Frampton and Anderson. Monarchs counter with Oliver, Hunter, Kaiser, Ezekpe, and Mekhi Long. Oliver in the left-hand corner brings it back to CJ. Foul line Long. Again, this zone's been very effective. Monarchs won for the last 10. Ezekpe won't take the baseline jumper. Brings it back to Hunter, who works the perimeter with Kaiser. Kaiser to the right elbow extended. Crosses over into the corner. Hunter drives right baseline. Drive and dish to Ezekpe, who misses the layup. Gets it back again. Has that one blocked by Sharp. Back to Mekhi Long. Long back. Thought I'd go to Ezekpe. Instead, they go to Oliver. 15 to shoot. They'll reset the offense with Ezekpe. Will he shoot over Sharp this time? He's done it before. Up and under. Oh, that's dragging the pivot foot. That's blocked away by Sharp. Not going to happen. Another block. Sharp leads the nation in swats. He's got at least 4 here in the first half. He averages 4.5 a game. 3 so far in the first half, according to Dave Strickland, who's keeping the numbers for us. Here's Anderson. To Hamilton at the top. Western Kentucky looking much more comfortable in the second portion of the first half. Frampton, his last 2. Make that his last 3.
I think they are going to the hot hand. Nice play. A little down screen. Sets his man up well. Comes out. Gets a nice look at the three-point shot.
30-22. An 11-0 run. 17-2 run for WKU. Here's Mekhi Long. His pass deflected toward Hunter. Almost loses it. Brings it back to Kaiser, who's been quiet as the Monarchs' leading scorer. There's an offensive foul. Little frustration on the Monarch side of things with 2:45 to go in the half.
Very much so. The possession before this, they came out in a 1-3-1 trap, tried it for a one pass, and then went back into a man-to-man. So they're changing up their defense as well, but this zone has been problematic for the Monarchs.
And Dave, you talk about shooter's mentality. Luke Frampton missed his first 3 threes, kept shooting. Now he's hit his last 3.
Shooters shoot.
Shooters shoot. And he shot his team into an 8-point lead here. This is Hamilton against Long. Little travel there. Layup no good. Ezekpe the rebound to Hunter. Into the corner. Kaiser. Will he shoot over Frampton? No, he puts it on the deck. Gets to the foul line. Stop and pop. Will drop.
Boy, what a move. Gives a little pump fake. The defender slightly bites on it. Gives him enough of an opportunity to put it on the floor, and he just rises up over everyone and shoots that jumper.
Kaiser has 5, and the WKU lead is 6 with 2 minutes to play in the first half. Skip pass to Anderson on the left-hand side against A.J. Oliver's man-to-man. He gets into the paint. Back to Frampton. Will it be 4 for 4? Yes, it will be.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
4 for his last 4 from 3. Luke Frampton, 12 points.
I think I'm staying in his grill for the rest of this half.
Here's Ezekpe. His pass deflected. Meanwhile, it's batted into the corner. Now Jalen Hunter goes to Kaiser. Wide open 3. No good. And Hamilton has the rebound for the Hilltoppers. And here's Justice on the right-hand side. Where's Frampton?
Oh,
he's got the ball.
He was in his shooting motion.
Hamilton doesn't fire it yet. Brings it back to Justice. Shows the 3. Finds some space. Misses that 3. Ezekpe a little casual with the rebound, but A.J. Oliver saves it for Old Dominion.
That's a good call. He was extremely casual with that rebound. Almost a steal by Western.
Kaiser loses the basketball. Unforced turnover. And here comes Justice. And Justice is going to call a 30-second timeout with 58.4 to go in our first half. A 14-2 run. Hilltoppers have hit 6 of their last 8. Their shooting percentage is up to 48. The Monarchs is sinking like the late afternoon sun. They are firing at 35%.
And Frampton called that timeout. He was so exhausted from launching his shots. And then he had a nice defensive sequence down here. He's the one that called that timeout.
Rarely do you see that, Dave.
Yeah.
But he knows Coach Stansberry is going to get him right back in there. And this 20-second or 30-second timeout will give the rest of his Hilltopper teammates a chance to breathe a little bit. 8 players have played on either side of this basketball equation. Monarchs led by as many as 7 halfway through this first half, 20-13. But since then, it's been a 20-4 run for WKU.
Boy, it is a joy when you see a guy get on a roll and just gets into that zone where even though he's missed a couple, like you said, he's missed his first 4. He has come out and nailed a couple and just gets in that shooting motion.
They almost hitting the net.
And gets in a shooting motion before he catches the ball.
Hamilton spins down the right side, and that's going to be knocked out of bounds by Jarris Hamilton.
Nice defensive play by Mekhi Long on that spin move. Tips the ball loose. Goes off Western.
See that on tape, and you can he telegraphs it a little bit, and you can get in better defensive position. Monarchs down by 9. Largest lead of the game belongs to WKU right now. Here's Kaiser. Picks up the dribble. Goes to Ezekpe at the foul line. Running one-hander for Kalu is around and through. Ezekpe with 10 points to lead Old Dominion. It's 33-26. Shot clock off. 20 seconds to play in the half.
And wisely, Western takes out. Sharp did not want him to pick up his third foul, which enabled Old Dominion to attack in the paint.
The offensive playmakers are keeping an eye on where 33 is at all times. 7 seconds to go in the half. Now 5. McKnight all the way, finds a lane, puts it up. No good. 2 seconds to go in the half, and that will bring this first half to a close. Old Dominion led by as many as 7, but the Hilltoppers catch fire from 3 in the name of Luke Hampton. He's got 12 points, and he's led his team to a 33-26 halftime advantage. 33-26, Western Kentucky will begin the second half with a 7-point lead. Ted Alexander, ODU Hall of Famer and NBA champ Dave Twardzik here. And Dave, we got a stat from Dave Strickland who's brilliant with this. Only 10 whistles in the first half.
He came up with another stat that's unbelievable. With Sharp in the game, Old Dominion 6 for 23. Sharp out, 6 for 9. That is why he's the best in the business.
Sharp
David Strickland
in the game, wearing the red, defending Kalu Ezekpe, who moves toward the bucket to our left. Pump fake times 3, and Ezekpe has the first points of the second half.
You know, now there are going to be times where you score against him. It's not going to be easy. Like Kalu had to pump fake 3 or 4 times and then take a step away from his defender Sharp to get off the shot. But what a factor on the defensive end Sharp is.
Game clock only has 2 seconds elapsed in this second half, and obviously that's not happening.
Okay, now
that's why the pause here.
I'm going to ask you a question about Sharp.
All right.
Can his frame, he's very thin, can his frame support a lot more good weight? Can he get much stronger? I mean, he can put
yes, I think so.
You know the NBA machine, once you get up there with the weight training and everything, I think he can get stronger. I don't know how much stronger. I mean, I don't know if his hips
he's 7'5".
He's a load.
Obviously
now.
Long. He's long as can be. Interestingly enough, as we were doing research for this game, I was wondering, all right, what happened to Charles Bassey? Well, he's playing in the NBA for the Philadelphia 76ers and averaging about 2.5 points and 2.5 rebounds a game. Was a second-round draft pick and a wonderful college player who's trying to make it in the big show now.
Right.
But this kid here obviously doesn't have the offensive skills that Bassey had. But, boy, he can block shots from everywhere. And as we've talked about before, and is so important that doesn't show up in the box score, the number of shots he affects.
Changes, without a doubt. Billy and I were talking during halftime. The thing about him also, and this is something you can't teach, he has very good hands. He catches hard passes, difficult passes to catch. And the other thing, I love his demeanor on the floor. He just plays. There's no pounding his chest or coming out yelling or anything. If he blocks a shot, he just stays with the play.
Davion McKnight and Jarris Hamilton with the basketball. Here's Jamarian Sharp handing the ball off to Cameron Justice. Justice takes down the right side against Long and draws the foul from Mekhi Long. Luke Frampton also on the floor for Western Kentucky, trying to build on the 33-28 lead. Long has 2 fouls on the floor for Old Dominion. Mekhi Long and C.J. Kaiser and Austin Trice, Jalen Hunter and Kalu Ezekpe. Inbounds pass is kicked by Hunter. It was interesting, just a freeze frame a moment ago. Austin Trice at 6'7", his neck craned to look up at Jamarian Sharp's face. He's got that defensive assignment. McKnight to trigger the play for WKU to Frampton. He's hit his last 4 threes. We'll take a 2 here and swish that one. Luke Frampton, his first 2 of the night. He's got 14.
Boy, if I'm Old Dominion, I'm not sure I like C.J. Kaiser on Frampton.
And we've got a whistle.
Uh-oh.
This
I
is
don't know
Frampton.
if it's a cramp. Now, remember, he's the one that called the timeout in that first half. He was really gassed. I don't know if he twisted his ankle or could it just be a cramp.
Obviously concern on the WKU side. Luke Frampton leads all scorers with 14 points here tonight.
Seeing him
just
go
averages 9 a game.
Sorry, Ted, but seeing him go out the tunnel, I'm thinking it's just a cramp.
Okay. They'll work on him, the athletic training staff for the Hilltoppers, and the Monarchs will try and claw into this 7-point lead. Again, the zone, and here's C.J. Kaiser. Long 2 is short. Rebounds back tap, and it comes to Cameron Justice. Had to battle Ezekpe for that, Cameron, and he's got it into the front court to our right. Red uniforms, black and white trim for WKU out of Bowling Green, Kentucky. Sharp now swings it right side to Josh Anderson, who's in for Frampton. Here's Hamilton's three. That's good. Jairus Hamilton has his first three of the night, and WKU has their largest lead. It's 38-28, 18:36 to play.
Western staying in that zone. That has been a problem for Old Dominion.
Monarchs went cold against the zone at the end of the first half. They had a 7-point lead, ended up trailing at the intermission. There's Kaiser for three, and that'll answer a zone for the time being.
And he's really the only one on the floor that's going to be able to stretch that defense on a consistent basis. Probably their best three-point outside shooter.
He's the Monarchs' leading scorer at 15 a game. He's got 8 now, and it's 38-31. Hilltoppers. McKnight finds Justice. Justice thinking about Sharp. Instead, he goes to Hamilton. Into the corner, McKnight. Work around the perimeter here. 6 to shoot for WKU. Left-hand side. Justice, he's going to penetrate. Turns at the elbow. Fades and fires and misses. Rick Stansbury probably wants a better shot than that out of his offense. Meanwhile, Mekhi Long goes coast to coast and draws the foul. And that will be on Hamilton, I believe. They'll call Jairus Hamilton. And Mekhi Long will go to the line. He's 0 for 1 from the stripe. In terms of three-point shooting, WKU 6 for 16 tonight. The Monarchs 3 for 10. First foul shot from Long is no good. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's a 66% free throw shooter. Monarchs as a team shoot 68% from the stripe. Tonight they are 0 for 2. Long's been the only one of the free throw line. That second one is good. So he's got 5 points, and the lead is 38-32. Oliver in, Long out, as he has a chat with ODU head coach Jeff Jones. Here comes Davion McKnight. Into the front court. Thinking about Anderson in the alley-oop. Not the case. Sharp sets a screen, rolls to the hoop. They move the ball to the left-hand side for another Hamilton three. No good. And it's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Jamarian Sharp.
And Luke Frampton still has not rejoined his teammates, still being worked on by the trainer in the tunnel.
Keep an eye on that tunnel off to our right here at Chartway Arena in Norfolk. Oliver gets the ball to Trice, who spins and eats that one. Sharp says, not this time, Austin. Again,
I don't think that got out of his hand.
And again, like happened against WKU in the first half, a predictable move there from Trice.
Correct. 5
block shots for Jamarian Sharp, the nation's leader in that department, and the all-time one-season shot blocker for WKU. Ezek Pay now finds Jalen Hunter. 10 to shoot behind his back, runs into Hamilton. Snap pass, right-hand side, Kaiser. Kaiser over Anderson. No good. Hamilton the rebound. Jairus Hamilton, the transfer from University of Maryland, finds Cameron Justice, who hands it off to McKnight. 38-32, WKU. After trailing 20-13 in the first half, a major run, and that's going to be a foul on A.J. Oliver.
Yeah, and here's the one concern if you're Old Dominion. Cameron Justice is not, he's been very content to run the team. I mean, he has 5 points, but has not shot it very well.
4 assists for Justice, so you're right, he's running the team and finding the guys that can hit the threes. A 9-point advantage from beyond the arc for WKU. Can they increase that with a Justice attempt? No good, but the long rebound goes WKU's way. Justice again. That's Kaiser fly by, finds Anderson as they flirt with the three-point line. Can anybody get to the dance? Here's Hamilton with 10 on the shot clock. A screen from Sharper rolls to the hole. Hamilton to a cutting McKnight. The elbow jumper is no good. Good defense that time from Old Dominion. Monarchs down by 6 here at Chartway Arena in Norfolk. Weaving is Hunter, looking for help, finds Trice against Sharp once again with the right hand, wildly off the glass, no good. Knocked out of bounds by Justice. And we've got our first timeout of this second half. 15:54 to play at Chartway Arena in Norfolk. Western Kentucky looking for an elusive road win. They lead it 38-32.
That first half.
Missed his first three, hit his next four. Hunter saves the turnover. Monarchs have 9 to shoot against this WKU zone, which has been very, very effective. Snap pass to Oliver. Nothing's going on. AJ fires. That's no good. No one's there for the board. It's one of those type of offensive possessions as Justice steps into a three and bangs that one, Cameron. Justice.
Oh, we just talked about him being relatively quiet. Another guy, almost 40% from the three-point line.
Such a difference from that three than the one the Monarchs took after struggling for 18 seconds against the zone.
Yeah, Justice just stepped into that. Nice rhythm to his shot.
Here's Hunter. Goes right baseline. Ezekpe takes the 15-footer. No good. Rebound long, and he goes up, and he's blasted. He'll go to the line for two.
Well, Sharp goes out to challenge the shot. It leaves the board open for Mackay to crash the offensive glass. Gets it in traffic, takes it up quickly, and gets fouled.
Jairus Hamilton picks up the personal. That's his second. And Mackay Long goes back to the free throw line. He's been the only Monarch to shoot foul shots tonight. He's 1 for 3.
I like the way the officials are calling the game, letting them play.
Yep. First one's good for Mackay Long. 41-33. Western Kentucky, 15:08 to play. Second one is no good. So the lead remains 8 for our visitors from Bowling Green. Came in 3-6 in conference play. Monarchs are 4-4 in the league. And both have the same opponent, their next opponent. ODU is at FAU on Tuesday. And there's a lob for Sharp, who throws it down.
That was a tippy-toe dunk there.
Reaches up, pass on target, flush, and it's a 10-point lead once again, matching the largest. FAU will take on these Hilltoppers next Thursday. All right, here's Justice. One bounce. Great-looking pass. And the layup is no good as McKnight gets blasted by Ezekpe.
Oh, a beautiful pass from Justice. Yeah, nice bounce pass. Perfect lead. McKnight takes it up strongly, doesn't convert, but gets fouled and goes to the line for two.
Toppers shoot 71% as a team from the foul line. McKnight is a 78% foul shooter. He's got 6 points thus far. First trip to the line. It's good.
Frampton is back on the bench and still getting some medical assistance from the trainer.
Looks like they're putting ice on his knee. His left knee.
Interesting.
Meanwhile, we've got Jairus Hamilton being attended to. Looks like he's got some blood on his left elbow. Hamilton is okay and bandaged up or dried up, and McKnight hits the second free throw. John Irwin doing excellent work as the athletic trainer for the...
You almost have to be a cut man, don't you?
That's right. So the largest lead has quieted the building here in Norfolk, 45-33. D'Angelo Steins into the ball game, a freshman for the first time, goes to Ezekpe at the right elbow. Kalu brings it back to C.J. Kaiser. One bounce to Steins. Fakes the pass, fires the three. That one's no good, and the ball will be tapped out of bounds. Last touched by ODU. So they're hoping D'Angelo Steins maybe can get something going from three, where he's a 32% three-point shooter. But again, it's the pass around the perimeter, jack up a shot stuff doesn't look really fertile at this point, Dave.
Well, the cuts to the basket are being negated by Sharp's presence on the floor.
Usually you pass inside and maybe a quick pass outside, but with the 7'5" best shot blocker in the country there, it's a bit of a difficult task. So was that effort from McKnight. Meanwhile, the Monarchs are racing from right to left. Drive and dish, and the double-pumping layup is good for Mackay Long. Jalen Hunter gets the assist there.
And if you're the Monarchs, that's the way you have to get back into the game. Sharp was not a factor. He was behind the ball. Old Dominion forced it down, got a look at the basket before Sharp was able to establish defensive position.
Lead once again 10 for WKU at the 13-20 mark. This is Justice. Spins on Steins, who runs into a sharp screen. And that one's knocked out of bounds by ODU. In will come Austin Trice for Kalua Zikpe. As the Monarchs try and decipher this WKU zone, they're 5 for their last 15 from the field, Dave. Overall, they're shooting 36% from the field. Western is at 44%. McKnight to trigger this inbounds play, baseline left. Brings it out to Justice. He'll fire from there, and he does, trying to draw the foul, and that does nothing. He thought he'd get the whistle. Not a lot of whistles here in Norfolk tonight. Here's Hunter thinking about Steins. Instead, here's Mekhi Long working against Sharp, and Sharp will pick up his third personal.
Oh, just a careless foul from behind by Justice.
Justice, yep.
Sharp in good position to be able to challenge Long shot if he took either a jump shot or took it to the basket.
And WKU fans are glad that's on Justice and not on Sharp. Cameron picks up his first. Jamarian has 2 personal fouls. Here's the inbounds. Hunter goes down, but they call no foul, but the pass is away. 2-on-1. McKnight to Justice. Layup good. So instead of wanting to get the foul at one end, the Monarchs throw it away. And it's a 47-35 game.
Oh, a near steal by Anderson, which would have led to a highlight film dunk. The Monarchs are a little rattled.
The Monarchs are very rattled. They haven't been able to solve this zone, and you can see the confidence building in the Hilltoppers here in Norfolk. 12:38 to go. Hunter, Long, C.J. Kaiser with the basketball now, stopping and starting and stepping back, trying to find his way for a jumper, and he does, but that one's no good. Trice can't get the rebound. Long is there. He goes up again, drives and dish to Trice and throws it away. There's Sharp again, affecting the entire offensive operation.
Absolutely. Nice effort on the offensive glass, but Sharp's there to totally change and challenge the shot.
Dave, here's the question, and the answer is Jamarian Sharp. Why haven't other teams all season long gone to the zone against Old Dominion?
I would play zone all the time against the Monarchs because statistically they have proven they're not a very good three-point shooting team.
And there's a turnover from McKnight and the Hilltoppers. Fans here in Norfolk, nice crowd on a Saturday night for Conference USA Hoops, looking for something to cheer about.
And the other thing, too, to follow up on that question, you don't have a guy like Sharp anchoring
he's the
your
answer.
defense
Exactly.
either.
And the Monarchs are just 3 for 13 from beyond the arc. So if you aren't hitting the threes and you've got the fly swatter in the middle, you got a problem.
And absolutely. Stay in that zone.
Old Dominion 1 for their last 8 from the field. Again, Luke Frampton, who came on and changed this game in the first half with 4 straight threes. He's got an ice bag on his left WKU bench. Monarchs attacking the basket to our left. Under 12 to play, looking for something to happen. And here's Mekhi Long's foul line jumper, no good. Oh, it hung on the rim, had a cup of coffee and fell through.
But Old Dominion challenged that defense by flashing somebody into the high post and sent a cutter to occupy Sharp.
Oliver asking for noise and receiving it from the fans here in Norfolk. Conference USA's best attended team, and that's got to be something.
Double dribble.
It is something. It's a travel against Jamarian Sharp, and the fans are back into it thanks to the Monarch defense. 11:32 to play. It's a 10-point WK lead, 47-37.
Doesn't foul very much.
One of the nation's leaders in fewest fouls per game. That's how they can keep their guys. They only play about 6 guys heavy minutes. And they can do that because
1-3-1 zone here. Sorry, Ted.
Anderson at the top of it for Rick Stansberry's Hilltoppers. 6 to shoot, nothing doing. Hunter's going to try and penetrate, get into the paint. Back to Kaiser. This is a 3, and that's no good. Rebound off Mekhi Long to Josh Anderson.
That shot was short-armed a little bit by C.J. Kaiser. Unusual for him.
11 minutes to play. It's a 10-point lead for WKU. Justice, catch, shoot, hit.
Oh, just too much time.
Wide open.
He caught, set up, took his time, knocked down the shot. Slow closeout by Mekhi Long.
And here's Austin Trice against Sharp. Back to A.J. Oliver. He'll fire a three. That's no good. And the long rebound will go out of bounds. And here's something interesting when you think about Austin Trice, the Monarchs' best player in conference play. He averaged, coming into this game, 17 points and 11 rebounds per game in CUSA play. Tonight, he's 1 for 6 from the field, 2 points, 7 rebounds. And that's in large part due to the 7'5" Jamarian Sharp.
It is directly responsible for that.
Meanwhile, the Hilltoppers are finding gaps in the Monarch defense. This is Hamilton working on A.J. Oliver. Bodies him into the paint and draws the foul. That'll go on Oliver.
Now Hamilton is looking to bull his way to the basket. He is not a left-hand player. He's going to go right 99% of the time. You have to take that away from him.
Out goes A.J. Oliver. In comes Kalu Ezikpe. Playing defense now. When Old Dominion has success, it starts with their defense, and it's going to have to here. Against a Hilltopper team that's brimming with confidence. Hamilton finds his way to the left baseline, gets past Ezikpe and hits the little two.
That's just a nice move there. Gives 2 pump fakes that Kalu bites on both of them. Second one gives him just enough space to get off the shot. Nice play by Hamilton.
15-point lead for Western Kentucky. 10 minutes to play here at Chartway Arena. Kaiser in the corner. A lot of jabs, no haymakers. Here's Ezikpe, back to Hunter. 10 to shoot. What's the answer for Old Dominion? A drive and a wing? Yes, for Hunter. Drove down the left lane, high off the glass for his first second-half points. He's got 7, and it's 52-39.
Nice play by Jalen Hunter. A very difficult shot. Sharp pinned underneath the basket, couldn't challenge the shot.
A classic oh no, oh yes shot. Then again, with the shot clock going down, you got to get something. Here's Justice, who's gotten a lot of things here tonight. Averages 13 in conference play, has 13 tonight. He's at the foul line. Back to Anderson. This is a three. That's no good. Sharp challenges for the rebound, but Trice has it. Here's Hunter. Headman pass to Ezikpe. Awful idea, and it goes out of bounds.
Good idea.
Awful idea.
No, I think the idea was good. The execution was awful. I think.
Well, you want to beat everybody down the floor.
Well, and Kalu did have a couple steps on his defender. The pass was just overthrown.
All right.
So the idea was excellent.
All right. He Aaron Rodgers did. Oh, here's Justice on the left wing. Ended up in the third row. To Anderson. 10 to shoot for the Hilltoppers. Got a 13-point lead. Down low. This is Hamilton tied up by Kaiser. Jump ball will go to WKU. All-time series is led in this battle between these two. 22-21 by Old Dominion. A series that dates back to December of 1970. Last year, these two teams split games when the two-game set was held at Diddle Arena in Bowling Green. 6 to shoot for the Hilltoppers. McKnight will trigger from baseline left. Sharp sets another screen. Alley-oop! He can't get it to fall. A little bit off the mark and a little contact as well. Here's Hunter quickly into the front court. Waiting for Trice. Goes to Austin. Now finds Kaiser. Kaiser, he'll lean into a 14-footer that's good. Kaiser's into double figures with 10, and the lead is 52-41. Justice. Finally, they close on him so he doesn't fire the three. Now McKnight, you can tell these guys have put a lot of minutes in, and that's the reason that Stansbury's calling a timeout. Only one substitution in the second half. 8:17 to play in our ballgame here at Chartway Arena. The 44th meeting between Old Dominion and Western Kentucky, led by the Hilltoppers at this juncture, 52-41. CUSA men's basketball at Chartway Arena in Norfolk. Ted Alexander, ODU Hall of Famer and NBA champ Dave Twardzik alongside. 52-41 for the Hilltoppers, Dave. 8:17 to play. An effective timeout from Coach Stansbury, who needs to space them out, not only strategically, but for fatiguedly.
Oh, they definitely need some rest. They run a very tight rotation. Only 6, maybe 7 guys play. Doesn't look like Frampton is going to come back in a game, but he's the guy that got them in the game. He ignited their offense, and even with him out, Western Kentucky has outscored Old Dominion 17-13.
He leads the Hilltoppers with 14 points. Justice has 13, Hamilton 9. Meanwhile, Anderson fires for three. It hits. Josh Anderson hits his first three. He's got 5, and it's 55-41.
That was a rare thing in his game in his earlier career.
Monarchs turn it over at the other end. And we've got another timeout. Jeff Jones has some chatting to do with his Monarchs, who trail with 7:54 to play, 55-41.
7 for this half.
Monarchs have a 30-27 rebounding advantage, but they trail on the big board 55-41. WKU with the basketball, attacking the bucket to our right. This is McKnight. Back to Anderson. He's open, doesn't take the three over Ezekpe, finds Justice. Justice, a screen from the 7'5" Jamarian Sharp, who's got it on the left block. What's he going to do against Mackay? Mackay's going to draw the foul. That'll be his third. He thought he had a lot of ball with that when the officials thought otherwise.
Ooh. That did look like a lot of ball. But he's going to, I wish they wouldn't have had the foul. I would have liked to see what he could have done on the little post move.
He's a 48% free throw shooter. Jamarian Sharp, 70% from the field. Averages 8 a game. He's got 6. And the first foul shot rattles out. He'll get one more.
It's not a bad looking free throw. Has good rotation.
But he misses both of them. And Trice has the rebound for ODU. So a break for the Monarchs. Maybe you should be hack-a-shack with Sharp.
You certainly could do that. No one's in foul trouble, that's for sure.
Here's Ezekpe back to Kaiser. They work the perimeter along. One bounce to Ezekpe at the foul line, and he's going to spin in the lane, and the jumper is good.
Well, that's the way to attack the zone. Kaiser attracts a lot of attention from Sharp, and so enables Kalu go one-on-one against his man.
Boy, but it's got to be so emotionally frightening to have the Grim Reaper back there waiting to embarrass you with a blocked shot.
Trust me, it's in your head. There's no question.
Here's Justice with a catch-and-shoot three. That's no good. Who's going to come down with this ball? Trice for Old Dominion, and they're going to call him for steps. He was battling a couple of Hilltoppers, and the fans don't like it as Austin came down with the ball in a heap, and they call him for steps. Thought there was a little contact before that.
Well, Austin Trice is known for rebounding in traffic. He goes up in the middle of everybody, just doesn't have sure footing, and goes down.
Shaking off the wrist, the left wrist there, and he is a left-hander.
You know, he kind of injured that a little bit last game.
So WKU has 20 to shoot. Meanwhile, the tick, tick, tick of the clock. 6:47 to play. Inbounds pass. Justice for three.
Oh, that's just casual defense.
Dagger right there, Dave. He's got 16.
Yeah, C.J. Kaiser almost runs into the screen.
Kaiser to Hunter. Now it's Trice. Trice goes down the right side, and the layup for Austin is good. His second field goal. He's got 4, along with 10 rebounds.
Now, Austin Trice in the past has made a lot of difficult shots. That one was not very easy over the outstretched arms of Sharp.
Anderson, Monarchs in a man-to-man. Who's got Justice? C.J. Kaiser. Justice has come alive with 11 points since halftime. That one's knocked out of bounds. It'll be WKU ball, 14 to shoot. 6:08 on the clock, 58-45. Hilltoppers lead here in Norfolk. Again, the Monarchs go to Boca Raton to take on FAU Tuesday night at 6. The Owls will go to Diddle Arena in Bowling Green Thursday to take on these Hilltoppers, and there's a Davion McKnight rattled her.
He's just so strong. Jalen Hunter's a pretty good defender, does a nice job of taking any penetration away. But he's
under 6 to play, Dave. It's 60-45, WKU. Kaiser probes the defense. One bounce. Ezekpe, he's open for the elbow jump shot that's no good. And again, a shot that's affected by Sharp. You got to be thinking about it every time.
That's exactly. Kalu takes about an 18-foot jump shot. Sharp comes from about 14 feet with his outstretched arms and makes Kalu change the shot a little bit.
Jairus Hamilton will pick up the personal foul. A loose ball foul called on number 3 for WKU. Monarch basketball. Inbounds comes to Mackay Long. Long dribbles out, 15 to shoot. Goes to Kaiser. Where will the Monarch points come from? They need to start coming in a hurry. Here's Kaiser with a deep three. It's good.
Wow, that was a near turnover. A very casual pass from Kalu. Goes right to Kaiser at the three-point line.
60 to 48. So you have to back up makes with stops. Anderson and McKnight's on the perimeter. So is Hamilton. Davion McKnight finds a little space, then brings it back out. They're just trying to burn some clock. 9 to shoot, 5 to play. Justice, wide open three, no good. Kaiser the rebound. Monarchs need to hustle. They're down 12. Kaiser to Trice. Trice puts it up with the right and in. Austin Trice brings the Monarchs to within 10. They haven't been this close in a while. And the fans here in Norfolk are coming alive. Both teams 10 for 21 since halftime. And that's going to be a foul on Jalen Hunter. And after no whistles in the first half, a few more here in the second. And that'll be the
6th-team foul. Next one is a penalty situation. Western only with 4.
And we've got a timeout here. 4:28 to play. Crunch time at Chartway Arena in Norfolk. Can the Hilltoppers hold on for a second consecutive road win? The answer is coming up. Old Dominion led by 7 in the first half, 20 to 13, but then Luke Frampton caught fire. He hit 4 consecutive three-pointers. He's got 14 points. He's been out, Dave, for quite a while with ice on his left knee. But then Cameron Justice started hitting for 3, and the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky had a 7-point lead at halftime, and they lead it by 10 here with 4:28 to go. Last time the lead was under 10 was 41-33 with 15:07 to go. But the Monarchs are running out of time at home.
And we had talked about 8 minutes ago how quiet Cameron Justice has been, but he has stepped up to the plate big time and hit some big shots.
Here's Davion McKnight against Hunter. Gets into the paint and fades and fires, and that's no good. And Trice has another carom, and here comes Old Dominion. Monarchs are 6 for their last 7. They're going to have to keep rolling like that if they're going to get back in the hunt. Here's Trice into the corner. Kaiser, 3, no. Rebound, Long goes high for it, but it's chased down by Hamilton. Big possession right there as we go under 4 minutes to play.
And obviously the clock is an ally for Western Kentucky. They're not going to completely slow it down, but they're not going to be opposed to using a lot of clock.
Oh, but the line drive.
That wasn't even a good pass.
It's like a clothesline pass, and Sharp slams it home. There's a Hunter jumper that's no good, and Justice has the rebound. Sharp with 8 points now, and meanwhile Hamilton banged his shoulder up.
Hamilton's really struggling.
His face grimacing.
Stinger on his right arm.
He can barely move the ball with his right arm. He sets the screen for Anderson. 9 to shoot, 3:10 to play. And here's McKnight down the left-hand side. Alley-oop, slam for Sharp. Check, please.
Wow. So he has been a factor defensively the entire game. Now he's becoming a factor on the offensive end with running the high pick and roll.
And a timeout is called by Rick Stansberry. And again, when you're in scramble mode defensively, Dave, and you want to go for steals or stops, you get a little sloppy letting a guy like Sharp get to the rim, and the pass is easy, as you said in the first half. You get it anywhere near the dish, and he's going to find it and flush it.
There's a tremendous margin for error when you're throwing it up to the rim for him. And if you have a good point guard and you start to get a little sloppy on the defensive end, that point guard can pick you apart. That was a nice play by McKnight.
They'll bring Sherman Brashear in for Jarris Hamilton. 3:07 to play. It's 64-50 Western Kentucky. And again, John Irwin goes to work on the right shoulder arm area.
Boy, Hamilton's still struggling with that arm.
Long and Hunter and Trice and Ezekpe and Kaiser on the floor in white for Old Dominion. McKnights and Justice and Sharp and Anderson and Brashear for WKU in red. Here's Hunter on the right wing. Where's he going to go with it? Ezekpe has it between the circles. Back to Jalen on the right. Puts it on the deck to Kaiser. 17 to shoot. Foul line Ezekpe. Kalu with Sharp in front of him. Takes it down the left-hand side. Burrows turns, fires, and hits.
But you know, Old Dominion scored.
Took a long time.
A long time. Western
240.
Kentucky did exactly what Western Kentucky wanted. They didn't want to give up a bucket, but if they did, it made Old Dominion burn a lot of clock.
12-point Hilltopper lead with 2.5 to play. Sharp, right-hand side, Justice. Justice brings it to Anderson. Back to Cameron, who drives against C.J. Kaiser's man-to-man. 5 to shoot. They're taking their time. Baseline, he goes. One bounce, McKnight, the shot, and the bucket.
Wow.
It's a three-pointer, and it's another timeout for Rick Stansbury.
That and the entire second half without picking up a foul.
Hamilton back in the lineup for Western Kentucky. Here's Jalen Hunter. 2:05 to go. Kaiser works to the baseline and fires and misses. And Sharp has the rebound for WKU.
There's your hack-a-shack now with 2 minutes to go.
Kalu picks up his second personal foul. The story has been the three-point shooting. 11 for 28. Western Kentucky. Old Dominion 4 for 18. A 21-point differential from beyond the arc. And it's a 15-point Hilltopper lead. Jamarian Sharp to the line. So for 2 here tonight.
He talked about Frampton hitting three-pointers. I mean, Justice had about the same start. He goes 1 for 4 in the first half. He has three three-pointers in the second half.
Sharp makes good on the first foul shot. The second one is short. It's a 68-52 lead as we go under 2 minutes. Kaiser, again this zone. One bounce, Ezekpe, right-hand side, long. He'll take a wing three. In and out, no good. Sharp has the rebound, tapped it into the corner. Justice has it there with 105 seconds to play. If this holds up, Hilltoppers will go to 4-6 in the league, 12-11 overall. Monarchs will drop to 4-5 in the league, 9-13 this season.
And it's good to see Hamilton is back on the floor.
Meanwhile, McKnight just cruises to another lefty layup and his 15th point. 70-52. What a weekend for WKU on the road. And in a one-bid league, you catch fire at the right time, get your guys some confidence. Anything can happen. Kaiser's three is good. C.J. Kaiser has 16, but is that a little bit too little, a little bit too late? 70-55 with 72 seconds to play. Other scores from around the league here today. UTEP won in Houston over Rice, 72-70. Charlotte blasted Marshall. The Thundering Herd now 1-9 in the league, 88-64 the final score. FAU, the next opponent for both these teams, Tuesday for Old Dominion, Thursday for Western. The Owls blasted Southern Miss in Boca Raton, 84-57. UAB, a slow start at home against Middle Tennessee, but they ended up just routing the Blue Raiders, 97-75.
And the Marshall-Charlotte game, did you say Coach D'Antoni was tossed in that one?
Tossed from that one in the early second half.
Well, I thought he was going to get tossed in our game. At halftime, right in front of us, he walks by the officials and says something to him. It kind of got a strange reaction from the officials and then kept on him a little bit in the second half. I thought he was going to get thrown.
Monarchs dumped the Thundering Herd 79-64 here on Thursday, and another foul with 70 seconds to go. C.J. Kaiser will pick up the personal, and Cameron Justice, a 79% free throw shooter, will step to the stripe for the first time tonight.
Well, here's the other thing. The guys on the floor, 80%, almost 80%, 78%. So you have to be very selective on who you foul.
First one's good for Justice, who has a team-high 17 points, 12 of which have come since intermission. It was 33-26, WKU at the half. Second one is good. 72-55. Hunter into the front court to Kaiser. On the left wing, goes to Ezekpe. His left elbow jump shot is no good. Rebound batted from Mekhi Long to Justice as McKnight hits the McFloor but he's okay as we go under a minute. Now it's just play away. They don't need to score any more points. Anderson will be fouled by Jalen Hunter, and he'll go to the line for a couple, for 1 and 1.
You've let 21 seconds go off the clock. Why would you foul then? If you're going to foul.
Foul early.
Right away.
Josh Anderson didn't start the ball game. He's got 5 points tonight. 8 below his average. 2 for 4 shooting. 8 rebounds, though, and a couple of assists. And it looks like Rick Stansberry will empty his bench. Bailey Conrad coming in. Noah Stansberry coming in along with Isaiah Cozart, Brashear. No toppers on the free throw lane. And Anderson for the 1 and 1. First one's good. He'll get one more, the 80% free throw shooter, the redshirt senior from Baton Rouge. It's good. This WKU victory will tie the all-time series at 22 wins apiece. And these two teams will meet in a couple of weeks in Bowling Green. 74-55. 37 seconds to play. Kaiser into the paint. A one bounce to Trice, who stuffs it home. Just cosmetic at this stage. About a 1.5-second differential shot clock and game clock. And the Toppers will just burn some clock here. Tyler Olden's into the ball game. This is Stansberry, son of the coach. A whirling dervish with the basketball. Monarchs try and cause the turnover, but it comes to Brashear, and his three-pointer is good. Sherman Brashear on the board with a 3, and it's 77-57. Hunter to Kaiser. And CJ will step back and fire a 3 and hit a 3. Kaiser will have 19 points, and the final score in this one is going to be 77-60. Dave, I guess of a number of Hilltoppers that could be honored with our player of the game status, I'm going to go with Mr. Cameron Justice, 6 for 17, 4 for 12 from 3. He had 18 points.
Yeah, you're right. You could pick a couple of them. I really like what McKnight did, but you cannot underestimate the presence of Sharp on the defensive end.
What a weekend for WKU. A win at Charlotte, a win at Old Dominion. And for Dave Twardzik, this is Ted Alexander. Good night from Chartway Arena in Norfolk, Western Kentucky, 77, Old Dominion 60. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.
This present.